Sophia had always dreamed of owning her own home. The apartment she had been renting for years was cramped and stale, and the thought of finally having a place that was all hers was an impossible fantasy. Until now. After months of searching, she found it. A small rural neighborhood tucked away on the outskirts of town. Pleasant Ridge. The homes were beautiful in their own way. Old but sturdy, with ivy creeping over the stone foundations and red tile roofs. The houses looked like something from a storybook. Peaceful, remote, perfect for someone looking for a fresh start. But the moment she mentioned it to her realtor, Mr. Jenkins, his face darkened. "You don't want to buy there," he said, voice tight. "That's Pleasant Ridge. Trust me, you won't be happy." Sophia laughed it off. "Why? What's wrong with it?" Mr. Jenkins hesitated, glancing around as if someone might overhear. "It's best if you just move on. Plenty of other places suited for you." The man's tone was strange, too firm, too urgent. He wasn't the type to get easily rattled. Sophia pressed. "What exactly are you saying?" He didn't answer at first, then muttered, "Trust me, just leave it alone." But something inside Sophia clicked. The houses, the neighborhood, it felt right. There was something in her gut telling her that this was the place she needed to be. She didn't know what it was, but she couldn't shake the feeling. So she pushed forward, determined to buy the house she wanted. The paperwork was smooth enough. The transaction closed without much hassle. The owners, long gone, had left it behind, unwilling or unable to stay. Sophia didn't ask too many questions. She moved in with excitement, unpacking boxes and eagerly filling the rooms with furniture. The house seemed perfect, despite the oddities, the narrow, winding roads, the strange absence of neighbors, but things started to feel off, even in the first week. At night, the air grew cold, so cold that no matter how many blankets she piled on her bed, she couldn't shake the chill. The strangest part of it was the house's layout. She'd find herself walking through rooms she didn't remember entering. One night, after hours of unpacking, she found herself in the attic, a place she hadn't explored yet. It was small, musty, filled with old furniture draped in dust sheets. As she stepped inside, the floor creaked under her weight, and she noticed a large, cracked mirror leaning against the wall. It wasn't like the others in the house. This one was different. Its frame was ornate, twisted metal shaped like vines that curled and coiled, almost like something alive. As she approached it, she saw herself, of course, but behind her stood something else. A figure, tall and shadowed, its form shrouded in the glass. It wasn't the mirror playing tricks on her, it was real. The figure seemed to move in slow, deliberate steps, keeping pace with her as she backed away. When she glanced back, the figure was gone. There was only her reflection again. Shaking her head, she muttered to herself, "It's just stress." Days passed, and the house grew colder. A thick sense of unease settled over her. She heard noises at night, scratching, tapping, but there was no one there. And then one evening, as she was getting ready for bed, she heard a knock at the door. When she opened it, no one was there, but there was an old woman standing on the sidewalk, staring at her house. "Why are you here?" the woman asked, voice low and cracked. Sophia frowned. "I live here. Can I help you?" The woman shook her head. "This place isn't for you." Sophia couldn't stop the feeling that maybe the realtor was right. By the time a week had passed, the strange occurrences became undeniable. One evening, as she stood before the same cracked mirror, she saw her reflection smile. A wide, grotesque grin that stretched her face unnaturally. And when she tried to scream, she couldn't, because it wasn't her anymore. It was the thing in the mirror. It was no longer just a reflection. It was her replacement. Panicked, she turned to run, but the house had other plans. "You don't belong here." She still had no idea what that meant, but by now it was far too late. Sophia had thought she was a woman searching for a home. Now she knew better, but was trapped somewhere far worse than a place she used to call home.